Welcome back to the Ultimate Freedom. I'm Glenn. This is Bonnie. Say hi, Bonnie. Today we're going to do a video about RV pets on travel day. Since I have a truck right now, I'll cover the truck. We had a Class A. I'll also talk about that. Let's get started. Ready? She's ready. Okay, starting with the truck for RV Pets Travel Day. The most important piece, single piece of equipment is this right here. And it's one of those things that extend the back all the way to the seats with no drop to the floor. Gives you a solid surface and a lot of real estate. And so this has been a game changer. It really, really helps. And then the other equipment that I'm going to show you and show you how we load it into the truck, 2 pet beds and 2 cat packs. And so I'll show you how all that goes in here, but I'm going to show you that after I show you Kit Kat's location. So we're holding Kit Kat one day driving down the road in this truck, and he jumps down to the floor by himself, and then we don't see him again for the rest of the drive, and I'll show you where he went. He jumps to the floor. Let's see if we can do this as a cat. And then once he's on the floor, he gets under the chair here, and then he made his way to the back. And the way that looks is right there. So now we've added this. That's where he sits in the dark. He's got this above him. The door is shut. He's completely boxed in with an exit to come back out and see us. But he travels right there as long as the motor is running. That's how Kit Kat travels. This is the truck loaded for travel day. The small pet bed there that the dog or cat, either cat could sit in, lay in. A big bed in the middle. And then you've got the cat pack, and he can see forward and he can see his family. And the other cat pack, he can see forward and he can see his family. And these cat packs have one side that you can't see out of. So this guy goes like that, and that's exactly how we load the truck. And the order of operations is, I start the truck, the dog's a piece of cake, dog's inside and super happy. Once the truck motor starts, hey, we're going somewhere, dog's in. Then I bring one cat at a time, and I leave them inside their cat packs. And then we close it all up and head down the road. It is travel day. Time to get out there and get rolling. On travel day, I try to wake up the pets an hour and a half before the time I want to be in the vehicle rolling. 8 a.m. is the time I shoot for getting the vehicle rolling. The miles that you make between 8 or even 6 a.m. and noon, the miles before noon are double the miles in the afternoon. Don't ask me why, I don't know how it works, it just always works that way. So to get them in the car, for the cats especially, I get out of bed and I feed them immediately. And they start eating. I wake up the dog. The dog is not a problem. She is an easy traveler. The cats, I want to get them eating. I want to get them awake. And of course, then I want them to use their cat box. Once they have done that, they are literally good for 12 hours. And so that's the goal, to get them up early, get them circulating, get them going, feed them immediately, the cats, and then I start preparing for travel. And that way, they're going to be ready to travel and have a long day in the vehicle. Now, as our travel goes on for a couple of days, it depends if you're going a distance, if you're going a farther distance. It only takes 2 days, maybe 3, and then these guys are in a pattern. Bonnie, Kit Kat, Bobcat, they know exactly what's going on. They know the routine, and they adapt to it incredibly quickly. But now let's talk about, while we're traveling, there's two types of stops during the day. There is the quick stop, bathroom stop. They don't get out of the car for that except for Bonnie. Bonnie, of course, gets out. Bonnie goes potty everywhere we go. And I'll teach you a trick about that and how to get your dog to do that and to do it quickly and every single time. The cats don't get out of the vehicle if we're not traveling, unless we're traveling a very, very, very far distance, which for us is rare. We don't like to go, we go 200 or 300 miles a day. That's our goal. And so if we're just doing the pit stop, the motor stays running in the truck. One of us is in the truck, and then we take turns using the restroom, doing what we got to do. And the cats, no change. They don't change at all. The dog, of course, will go out and go to the bathroom and then back in the truck, and then we're rolling again. On long, long travel days, it's a little different. So that's the pit stop. The pit stop is different than the lunch stop. So now let's talk about the lunch stop. So for the lunch stop, if we're doing a 300-mile day, every single time, actually 200 miles or more, we'll do a lunch stop. And so I pull into a rest stop, or I pull into a truck stop, and I'm going to deploy the slides in the back, and I'm going to bring the pets into the vehicle. It has to be at least an hour long for the pets to get any kind of a real break and to get a change in their scenery and in their environment and feel like they've had a stop. And so we stop for an hour, get them into the back, let them be. They've got food, they've got water, and they can do what they want. And then we take an hour-long break. My wife and I'll exercise, walk around, get our legs going, and then we load exactly the same way we loaded for the morning. Get everything loaded back up, and then we're off until the evening stop when we are done traveling for that day. So there is a pit stop, the cats don't change, the dog gets to go potty. There's a lunch stop, the cats come in to the rig and get a break. And so that's the two stops that we make, the two types of stops. Now, of course, all these things are how we do it and how it's developed and it's morphed over time. And you're going to adapt to your pet and your pet's needs and the things that you guys do. I'm just giving you what we do as a baseline so that you have some information to operate on, and then you go ahead and modify it any which way works for you and your pets. And so this is what has worked for us. Now, there is a big difference between traveling in a Class A motorhome and traveling in a motorhome or travel trailer. Now, the motorhome or travel trailer is overwhelmingly the #1 RV in America. 80% or more of all RVs are travel trailers or fifth wheels. Then the rest of that, maybe 15%, is motorhomes. Now, we started in a motorhome. It is easier to travel with pets in a motorhome, and that's just an absolute fact. So let's talk about that right now, for a moment right now. In the motorhome, what we did for this guy, that's Kit Kat, he likes to travel in the dark. And so we had a place for him in the back bedroom, right beside the bed. My wife hung a curtain, and there was this little cubby there. We put a little soft blanket in there and a curtain, and as soon as the motor on the motorhome started, he would be in that box every single time. And then he stayed there, and he'd go to sleep, and he'd have a really nice day until we get somewhere and the motor gets turned off. Anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes after that motor turned off, he would saunter out and stretch and come and see what's going on and look at the world around him. Super easy traveler. Bobcat travels a little bit differently. Bobcat likes to start in my wife's lap, and in fact, all three pets, even in the truck, all three pets want to be near my wife when we start. Bonnie's at her feet, or halfway in her lap. Bobcat is in her arms. Kit Kat's in her lap, and as we travel down the road, they all disperse. Kit Kat goes away, Bonnie goes away. Bobcat might stay, and Bobcat will sleep somewhere up near us in the motorhome or in the truck, and then he'll go and lay down somewhere, and then he'll be fine too. But in the motorhome, having a place for the dog, we had a bed on the couch, and the dog would sleep there. The adventurous cat, Bobcat, he would have a bed, and he would get in and out of it throughout the day. and then he'd walk around and be part of what we're doing. And then a Kit Kat, he just went and hid himself. So your pet will kind of find its own rhythm, and let your pet have the rhythm that works for them. Try to adapt to the pet as much as you can so that the pet has a comfort level. And so that's the way in the motorhome, it's so much easier with the pets. You don't have to wrangle them. You don't have to get them into the cat pack and transfer them to the vehicle and transfer them back and all of that. None of that happens. You're just in the vehicle and traveling, and it is much easier in a motorhome. And I can see as I get older, at some point I will go back to a motorhome, because parking it, getting camping and traveling with pets is much, much easier, a lot less work. And the older I get, the harder it is to do that kind of work. Now, about food and water during the day. We have water in the truck, and when we were traveling in the motorhome, we would have water, and the pets always had access to their water. So there's water available, and with the cats, I don't worry about food, and with the dog, I don't worry about food. But I told you I would give you a tip about how to get this one to go to the bathroom and do it quickly. This animal right here, Sweet Bonnie Purebred, every time this animal goes to the bathroom, she gets a treat. Every time, no matter what. When we're here, when we're there, when we're traveling, when we're stationary, she goes outside and goes to the bathroom, she gets a treat. Why? Because when we're traveling, I say, let's go potty. She jumps up and she's happy. Why is she so happy? She's gonna get a treat. Now I'm at a truck stop, or I'm at a restaurant or some parking lot, and there's a little piece of grass on an island. Getting her to go to the bathroom there was difficult until I came up with this method. Now she knows I'm gonna get a treat. I'm gonna make it happen. I take her out there, I tell her, go potty, get a treat. She sniffs around, she finds her spot, bam, good to go. Comes back in, wagging her tail, looking at us, she gets a treat. Now my wife has taken it to where the cats get a treat because that one went potty. That's fine, it's fun, whatever. Let them have their way. The thing is, this one will go to the bathroom when I need her to, and that's the important thing. And so if you want your dog to go to the bathroom 100% of the time, every time you stop, even if it's a pit stop, give that dog a treat every time it goes potty. Now, does that ruin your dog? I don't know, you tell me. This dog only has one purpose in life, make me happy, okay? That's it. She doesn't have any other function. And so it hasn't ruined my dog, but drop a comment if you have a way to do this, or how do you travel, or what's going on with you and your pets. Help us out. Everybody share information, drop a comment and tell us how you're doing it, because we can learn all from each other. This is how we're doing it, and I'm sharing it with you so that you have a starting point, a basis, and it's when you have some information to operate on when you're doing something new, it's less scary. And that's the only point of this. That's the whole point of my channel. Get you going, get you out there. So that's the purpose of this, is to give you the information. I hope this information has been helpful. So thank you for joining me in this RV Pet Traveling Day video. As per usual, my adventure cat is not here. He's out having an adventure. He went out that catio. Where am I pointing? There. He went out that catio door, and he's outside having fun, and he's doing what he does, which is he's an adventure cat. And then these two are both pretty mild. Of course, these two are older, 10 and 11 years old, versus the other cat is literally 1.5 years old. So thanks for joining us on this video. If you got something out of the video, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe to the channel, and expect content every Tuesday, released at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll see you in the next video.